we doing, everyone, and welcome to another movie review with Movie Madness with Maka B. For this one, we're going to be looking at Army of the Dead, 2021, Zack Snyder, new film on Netflix. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning here in England, and I've only just finished watching it. So, let's get straight into this. It was actually not a bad film. When I went into it, I was half expecting just, I don't know, say like a rehash of all the previous zombie films and things that we've had come before it. But quite honestly, it was somewhat impressive. Now, there are a lot of, I'm going to say, generic zombie movie tropes and, zombie movie aesthetics and things that we've seen 1,000 times in the past. But when you're making this kind of film, like I say, with the fact it's normally made as like a campy or cheesy kind of thing, sometimes they attempt a horror element. You can't exactly expect 100% full originality. But I think he did something different with this one, because it wasn't just a generic world full of zombies and things like that. It was actually very subjective. It was specifically stated that only the city of Las Vegas had been taken over by zombies. I liked the introduction at the start, whilst still admittedly generic, with having the whole thing begin after an accident with the army. They're transporting things that they shouldn't be in possession of or that shouldn't exist in a real world. Things get out of hand, blah, it spread panic, all that kind of stuff. But I did think that it was quite interesting. I liked the fact that there are two different kinds of zombies. You have ones that I've just called the shufflers, because, they're your generic, best-known slow zombies. And then you have ones that are more, as they're called in the film, should I say, the alphas. These ones still, whilst they're not technically alive, I would assume still, they appear to still have some kind of brain power about them, the ability to recognize things and, in their own sense, think for themselves. Which I think is kind of, if that was to happen in the real world, these obviously, as you would expect, would be the ones to watch out for, because they are the real threat. Like, taking out the shufflers would be easy, no doubt. Some guns, knives, blow to the head as standard, which is the same for the alphas, in the way that you kill them. But they'd be a force to be reckoned with. I like what Zack Snyder did with them. The visual effects in this film, fantastic. Like that CGI tiger that he has, and a lot of the makeup effects and things, very well done. I know that there's a little 30-minute documentary on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. That helps to detail the making. So I'll probably check that out. I'd probably recommend you check that out as well. Dave Bautista's casting in this. It's always good to have someone big, muscly, recognisable, because he's obviously going to be, the strong arm of the movie. And the emotional journey that we go on with his character, being reunited with his daughter, trying to make up for the past, the fact he had to kill his own wife and things. I'm adding spoilers here, so I'll just make sure I put in the title that the spoilers were included. Things like that. He was very well cast as an actor. For me, Dave Bautista is actually starting to come a long way. He's some, former professional wrestlers, they try the acting game and they're just shit from the start. Dave Bautista, he's had a bit of a hit and mix bag of movies for me. But this one I definitely think is one of his better performances. Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely his number one for me. But this is a solid performance for him. Very creative. I think he embodies the character well. There isn't a massive amount to his character, but, he's like Shrek and the Onion. We're peeling back the layers. We peel back the layers. Now, for this film, as for the end, I want to mention, it kind of sets up for a sequel with the one survivor, or not one survivor, but one of the main characters that we weren't expecting to really see again by the end, and then he makes an appearance. Turns out, right as he's about to get into a different city that's not affected, he been bit, he about to stop the next apocalypse. That's clearly what they're leading to. So if we do end up with a second film, I'm going to guess that it's going to probably start in his affecting or infecting the new city, Mexico City in this case. And it's probably going to progress to spread further and further and cover the whole of America. I kind of don't want, if we have a sequel, I kind of don't want it to go that way. Simply because we've seen that so many times before. One little area and then it spreads, and it's just, it's not cost effective, and it's kind of boring. So if you're going to do it again, stick to infecting that one city again, but obviously this time don't do a heist movie, come up with something a little different. That's just what I'd like to see if I was to be interested in watching a sequel to this. But anyway, that was just my opinion on it. Overall, this film, if I was to give it a letter grade, I'd probably give it... I'd give it a B+, because it was a solid film, definitely watchable, had some good elements. The special effects and makeup effects definitely being the best element for me. Some solid acting from the majority of the cast that were involved. But there were a few areas in terms of some acting choices and some things that occurred within the film that I personally would say could have been better. But that's just for me as a reviewer and as a viewer to consider just for myself. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. Is what it is. But it is a solid outing from Zack Snyder. I'm not his biggest fan. He has had some shockingly bad films in the past, just for me. But he's also managed to put a few decent efforts out there. And luckily, this was one of them. So hey diddly ho, that was everything I had for you on this one, folks. If you've got anything you'd like to see me do reviews on, any movies, TV shows, things like that, trailers you want to see me react to, online video episodes, I know a lot of TV episodes and things being made on YouTube, Red is it or something, that kind of thing, drop it down below, let me know. And also if you've seen this film, drop me a comment too, let me know what you thought to it. Do you agree with the things I've said? Do you have completely different views? I would like to know. Drop it down below. But until next time, folks, stay safe, have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, or whatever the hell it is, wherever the hell you are. Movie Madness, Maka out.